close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Virginia International Raceway, one of North America's most iconic and demanding road courses where precision, bravery, and discipline define the very best. Tonight, the Sausage Dodgers TCR Championship takes on the full course layout. At 3.27 miles of flowing high-speed S's, punishing elevation changes in some of the most technical corners you'll see all season. From the moment these drivers touch down into turn one, the challenge begins. The rhythm through the snake, the commitment required in the climbing S's, and that all-important run out of Oak Tree. Every corner here matters, and every mistake is magnified. In TCR machinery, it's a constant battle. Front tires screaming for mercy, drivers fighting for traction, and momentum becoming everything. Because here at VIR, if you lose speed, you don't just lose time, you lose positions. And when it comes to passing opportunities, there's few and far between. That means pressure builds, mistakes happen, and racecraft becomes just as important as outright pace. So buckle up, because tonight, it's not just about being the fastest, it's all about being the smartest, the smoothest, and the one who can survive VIR. Welcome to Sausage Dodgers TCR at VIR. Let's go racing, folks. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. This is going to be round 3 headed into the TCR International Series. Keys to the race: survive the climb through the S's. That's going to be paramount to surviving the race. Number 2, the Oak Tree exit. It's going to set up an overtake coming down through the snake, which is all about rhythm. Risk versus reward at the roller coaster section. It's all about managing the tires as the session goes on. That being said, folks, it's close in the championship. It's close on track, and the drivers are absolutely ready to tussle. Let's take a look at the championship standings as we get ready to go racing at VIR. Though Osbaldeston in the lead by 38 points ahead of Leslie Simpkins, but Vincenzo Stagnito is there lurking in the wings as well in third place. Lewis Butler in third place in qualifying right now, but further down in the championship order as Cardullo, Richards, Darsh, Falchi, Massey, Gabbiati, and Graglia round out the top 10. Lewis Butler there in 11th, Jack McCarthy, Minetti, Mofat, Sicosio, Corbett, Tim Williams, Thigas round out just a few of our participants. And we'll check out the best of the rest down to 28. It will be Brostanu, Ward, Phipps, Morabito, Wazowski, Sims, Ewers, Rapparelli, Stefania, and Herring, rounding out the 28 participants tonight. Over to the leaderboard, though, there's just 17 registered for the session. Leslie Simpkins is going to top the charts with a 154.499, currently running in P1 in front of Lewis Butler in P2. Stagnito in third in pit lane to finish out the session. Gabbiani in fourth, Cardullo in fifth, Williams, Minetti, Mofat, Corbett, and Wazowski are going to round out your top 10. Lewis Butler finding a little bit of time through Sector 3, but is quickly snatched away from his hands, it looks like. On board with Leslie Simpkins, and it's awfully dark and cloudy here at VIR. Can barely see the track ahead. So dark. The dashboard illuminating the cockpit mostly, as well as the steering wheel lights, and it looks like everybody coming down pit road now as Leslie Simpkins continues his charge down through the roller coaster section. And out to the start finish line we go. That'll be it for Simpkins on this crack. Fabio Falchi out on track, but parking it there. Paolo Minetti calling it a day. Oscar Corbett finishing up their run now. No improvements to be found for Corbett. Just a marginal amount, 155.318. Puts him up into 7th position. Simone Massey, number 69, Racing Point driver, running in 13th position currently. Has yellow sectors 1 through 3, 4. Green through sector 5, though. That'll be it for Simone Massey. 156.26 that last time around. Won't be any improvement. Rapparelli, though, is going to find some improvement this time around. 56.324. Not too shabby. What about Nick Ewers coming around the mountain? Here he comes. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Get notifications for when the Sausage Dodgers go live every Tuesday and Thursday. And maybe something special coming up in the near future, folks. Keep your eye out and keep your schedule open for more Sausage Dodgers action. And the session ticks over. Let's get those results posted for us. The official results: Leslie Simpkins took the win in front of Butler, Stagnito, Gabbiani, Fauci, Cardullo, Corbett, Williams, Minetti, Moffat, Wazowski, Sims, Massey, Rapparelli, Morabito, Ewers, Phipps, and Sicosio, not setting a time. Over to the grid, it'll be on that first row, Leslie Simpkins and Lewis Butler. Stagnito and Gabbiani, Fauci and Cardullo, Corbett. Oh, and we are getting ready to go racing, folks. We have got to get off the grid. Get ready to take the green flag here. No safety car for us. No rolling starts for us. We're just going to go green flag running here in just a few moments' time. Leslie Simpkins, the Sausage Dodgers driver, leading us down and towards turn one. Staggered start. And it's green, green, green here for the Sausage Dodgers, racing round 3 for heat number 1. It's a good start for Leslie Simpkins. Further back, Mauro Gabbiani, the Italian driver, trying to go around the outside of Lewis Butler. It's going to make this one work most likely at turn number 1. Vincenzo Stagnito, the fan favorite, further back right now, trying to challenge his way forward, but it's not working out for him right now. All the drivers pretty much falling in single file line for now. Not too much argy-bargy action as Nick Ewers goes wheel to wheel with Simone Massey. Ewers through NASCAR now, trying to get set up the hill and into the S's. A little close for Casper, along Oscar Corbett now. They're going to go wheel to wheel as well. Up the hill through the S's, Tim Williams and Paolo Minetti trying things out as Williams goes a little wide and clatters over the barrier. And that's going to be a huge moment for Paolo Minetti and Tim Williams. Up at the front, Lewis Butler and Leslie Simpkins are separated by 0.6 of a second. Mauro Gabbiani, the Italian man, in the number 18 machine, trying to challenge forward on Butler. Up the inside line, he makes a passing glance, but doesn't want to go for anything just yet. Further back, it's all on the straight and narrow. All drivers single file line coming into the roller coaster section. And what happened to Kasper Wazowski? As Kasper Wazowski went off track further back, let's take a look at what happened here. The Polish driver coming down the hill for the first time is going to clatter and bonk with the barrier. Back here, it's Vincenzo Stagnito and Fabio Falci coming up through the snake now. Out of left hook. into the snake. Single file all the way to South Bend before we get down to the heavy braking zone of Oak Tree. And here's going to be the exit of Oak Tree down the long, very long back straightaway that we have here at the full VIR circuit. As Michael Phipps, the Englishman, has crashed. Let's get a replay of what happened here to Phipps. Was he pushed? It looks like he was potentially touched by the number 83 of Rapparelli there at Oak Tree. Anthony Ward, the 76 pilot, in front of Antonio Morabito and Augusto Socosio. And there goes the 988 Team Racing Point driver. And challenges for the lead now as Butler tries to go around the outside of Leslie Simpkins at turn 1, but that's a fairly long way to go around the outside as turn 1, as the track tends to fade away from you here at turn 3. NASCAR Bend, it will be Leslie Simpkins, Lewis Butler, and Mauro Gabbiati here in the battle box. Francisco Cardulo behind Fauci still, and challenging forward potentially. Not up the hill, not through the S's. It's going to have to be single file line. One of the keys of the race, or one of the things we talked about earlier, is the few and far between chances to make overtakes happen. And there aren't exactly a million opportunities. You have very few. The run down into Oak Tree, NASCAR, turn 1, and the run down into the roller coaster. But even at Oak Tree, it's quite hard to get an overtake to happen because you're traveling at such a high rate of speed in these TCRs. It's almost flat out. Coming up from left hook through the snake, South Bend, into the Oak Tree. Well, the time difference that you'll be able to pull out on someone without a mistake is marginal, to say the least. Lewis Butler doing a good job of staying within striking distance of Simpkins. Fast laps trickling in now, 54.5 from the leader. Butler takes a look to the inside at turn 1. Leslie drives off into the sunset without a care in the world. Vincenzo Stagnito with the 54.3 in 4th place, trying to catch up to the battle pack in front. Tire fade definitely going to become a thing during the feature race. Will it become something for the drivers to consider during this race? Time will only tell. Cheers for Lewis coming out of Lloyd in the YouTube chat. Let us know who you're rooting for. Let us know who you'd like to see on the top step of the podium tonight. For the back here, Massey and Paul Sims now exchanging a little bit of paint at the entry to Oak Tree. As Ewers and Rapparelli exchange blows. Taking a look back here at Morabito's battle with Anthony Ward out in front of him. Anthony Ward, seemingly a small cork in the bottle here for the trio of drivers. The Autism in Esports driver now going to go wheel to wheel with Morabito on the back straight. down in towards the roller coaster section. Ward's going to go a little bit deep, cross over the entire racetrack, slam on the brakes. Will he be able to rejoin safely down the hill? He continues to drive on the grass, finds the racetrack right behind the battle pack, but will have a slowdown for good measure. Up ahead, it's Leslie Simpkins on the suspension of Lewis Butler right now, taking a look forward. A little bit of a slide there from Butler. He's going to get challenged by Gabbiati now. Does this open the door for Stagnito as well? A little bit as Stagnito tries to charge forward. The SimDrivers.eu pilot doing fairly well in the number 21. Can find himself sitting on the podium tonight. Tucks up the inside line going into the roller coaster section. The 21, lick of the stamp and ascend and a park on the apex. We'll get the move done for P3. Vincenzo Stagnito pulling out a showstopper. Back here, it's still Cardullo chasing down Falchi. This time it's going to be the outside run down in towards the first one. But Cardullo is going to go for a nice little switchback. And he's going to get that one done on Falchi. Very well executed. Falchi not done with his bout yet, though. Stays glued through NASCAR and through left hook as well. We're going to get spit out of turn 4, 5A and 5B and into the snake. Up here, it's Gabbiati getting chased by Stagnito. As the move was passed right back between Gabbiati and Stagnito. Gabbiati defends hard but fair. You can see Stagnito in the rear view mirror on the gearbox of Mauro Gabbiati now. Change for the lead though as Lewis Butler snatches it through the final corner from Leslie Simpkins. We do have a replay of that, but we want to stay glued here and now in case Leslie Simpkins tries to go for the move on Butler back through turn number 1. Leslie's going to fall in single file behind the number 9 or go for a switchback for the 33. Gets along the inside line, bangs a little bit of a door there. And now the 33 on the outside line coming into NASCAR. Won't be the optimum run, but he can go for another sneaky switchback going into left hook. As we go up the hill through the S's, let's see what happened to Lewis Butler. Leslie went off the track, and that will allow Butler to go through. Pretty simple move there. Back over to the live shot. Lewis Butler, Leslie Simpkins, Gabbiati, and Vincenzo Stagnito with a 4-way battle pack for the lead of the race. There goes a late breaking move from Gabbiati in the number 18 on Leslie Simpkins, chucks it in. That is definitely TCR racing at Oak Tree. Leslie, who comes into the championship P2 in the standings, falling down the order, trying to get a run on Gabbiati, demands a little bit of racing breath there, but not enough to be had for the 33 to get alongside the 18, doing a killer job defending like a lion. All this battling, though, is allowing Lewis Butler to run away with the lead with 6.5 left to go. Butler with a 1 second gap to those behind. Leslie laid on the brakes going down and towards turn 1. Might even missed the corner so much that Vincenzo Stagnito finds a way by both of them through 1 and 2. Leslie trying to find the long way around the outside at left hook, hooks it together, gets through. Holy smokes, Gabbiati and Stagnito going wheel to wheel as well. They're going to mount the sausage and exchange a little bit of paint. Gabbiati all over the rear wing of Stagnito with just about 5.5 left to go. Here's Fabio Falchi making a little bit of a mistake there behind Francisco Cardulo. Simone Massey in a bit of a pack battle with Daniel Moffat, who's running in P8 right now. We haven't talked about Daniel Moffat for quite some time, but a strong P8 for him right now will be a positive gain of 2 on the evening. He's done a very good job of controlling the field behind him in that number 10. A beautiful livery as well from Danny Moffat. Simone Massey here in the number 69 Racing Point machine. Up a good haul of positions. That'll be 4 gain for the number 69. Started in P13. Still has an opportunity to gain 1 more on Danny Moffat here. And he looks for a move on Moffat late on the brakes. Potentially too late as Moffat gets a nice switchback, as he saw that one coming from a mile away. Paolo Minetti and Tim Williams back on the racetrack after their big explosive accident earlier on. Tim Williams ahead of Paolo. Mauro Gabbiati still hooked up to the rear wing of Vincenzo Stagnino. We'll keep an eye on Cardulo, Falchi, and Corbett here, as well as the Moffat Simone Massey battle. And we can barely keep an eye on the leaders battle up ahead at the same time. Falchi trying to get a run on Cardulo. The liquid moly machine. Honda trying to catch up to the Audi in front. The Hyundais being the fastest car in a straight line here. Both Vincenzo Stagnito and Mauro Gabbiati, both with 154, 155s as far as their top speed. Got to check in with the battle for the lead on the final lap. Lewis Butler leads by 0.3 of a second over Leslie Simpkins, who's drifting his way through the S's. Vincenzo Stagnito in tow. Fabio Falchi gets a slowdown penalty, might lose a position there. Nose to tail between the Quattro here at the front, coming through the oak tree. Who's going to have the better run going down into the roller coaster, though? Flashy of the headlights. Leslie Simpkins from a long way back, trying to go for a move on Lewis Butler. No way, no how, cowboy. Vincenzo Stagnito climbs up onto the podium, but tonight it's all about Lewis Butler's dramatic victory. He's going to take P1 in front of Leslie Simpkins and Vincenzo Stagnito in third onto that podium. Hard-fought battle for Gabbiati. Hard-fought battle here between Fabio Falchi and Oscar Corbett, as Corbett and Falchi were separated by just 7 thousandths at the end of the day. Mofat, Simone Massi, Paul Sims, Rapparelli, Sicosio, Ewers, Morabito, Michael Phipps, Anthony Ward, Tim Williams, Paolo Minetti, and Kasper Wazowski rounding out the 19 drivers. As Barney the Flag Man waves the checkered flag, I want to thank everybody for joining in the YouTube chat, whether you're watching live now or in the future. Thank you so much for your love and support here from Sausage Dodgers Racing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Get notifications for when we go live next, as well as checking out all of our beautiful YouTube shorts that we have. Go ahead and check those out. And sometimes you'll find race recaps there as well. For heat number 1, it was Butler, Simpkins, Stagnito, Gabbiati, Cardullo, Corbett, Falchi, Mofat, Massi, Sims, Rapparelli, Sicosio, Ewers, Morabito, Phipps, Ward, Minetti, and Williams rounding out the top 18. And Kasper Wazowski rounding out the 19th driver. Over to the grid, it'll be Paul Sims, Simone Massi in the first row. Daniel Mofat, Fabio Falchi, Oscar Corbett, Francisco Cardullo, Gabbiati, Stagnito, Leslie Simpkins, Lewis Butler, Rapparelli, and Sicosio. And we'll have Ewers, Morabito, Phipps, Ward, Minetti, Williams, and Wazowski. And we're ready to go racing here for the feature race. And it's green, green, green for Sausage Dodgers Racing. Headed down in towards corner number 1. It's the green machine of Cardullo finding a way through. Or is that? No, that is not going to be. That's Paul Sims falling back and going straight off in towards turn 1 is going to be Fabio Falchi. Leslie Simpkins trying to duke it out already with the likes of Lewis Butler early on in this race. Off at the front, it's going to be Paul Sims and Daniel Mofat with Lewis Butler as he tumbles, falls, and he's going to go straight to the back of the pack. Unfortunate for the front row starter of this race. Massey worked his way up into P2 off the start and is going to sit pretty here. Francisco Cardulo in P1. Lewis Butler gaining 6 positions, already up into P4. Vincenzo Stagnito up 3. And in the background, Leslie Simpkins in 6th place. A little bit of a hip check there for Mauro Gabbiati, and he's going to go back to pit lane immediately. Vincenzo Stagnito gets hip checked as well, and he's going to go off track. Oh my goodness, it's all popping off here on the first lap for most of our race leaders last time out, and now it's all coming to fruition for some. Tim Williams up 9 in front of Michael Phipps currently, and Fabio Falchi. Simona Massey having an accident. No. Coming out of the roller coaster, and I think that'll be a trip down pit lane for Massey. It will be. Here we're going to look at Augusto Socosio, the 988, going wheel to wheel with Leslie Simpkins here, and Danny Moffat going down and towards turn 1, 3 wide. And a little bit of flashy of the headlights from the 988. Obviously not pleased with the participation there from Leslie. I'm not seeing an accident that came out for the number 7, but I definitely see him having an accident. You know, we did see that happen on track, but we didn't see him necessarily have an incident that I can track from the event tracker, as Nick Ewers goes side by side with a 797 of Tim Williams. Two brothers in arms exchanging a little bit of paint. This is going to bring along Fabio Falchi into their duo battle. And the Italian man might sandwich himself between the two drivers, and a little bit of door banging as Falchi, I think, moved over sight unseen. Didn't know that Ewers was there. Ewers trying to cover it off. Vincenzo Stagnito, Michael Phipps here as well with Morabito in a tussle. Everywhere I look, there's battles. Battles at the front, battles at the back, battles in the middle. Keeping an eye on Cardulo, because our previous race winner, Lewis Butler, is waiting to pounce. Oh, and an opening line for Butler, but Cardulo opened the door in hesitation because he wanted to get a switchback. And he did get that one done. Augusto Socosio defends in the background from Leslie Simpkins. Nick Ewers here with Vincenzo Stagnito. And Stagnito, he's on a recovery drive right now, down 1 from where he started this event. Up ahead, it's going to be Socosio defending in the 998, but he gets a slowdown penalty through the S's. He's going to have a significant amount of time to give that time back, but can he do it without losing the position to Leslie Simpkins? No, not this time around. Leslie Simpkins is going to go straight off the racetrack, but no slowdown penalty given there. Lewis Butler, half a second back from Cardulo. Request to put the number 7 on screen. Here it is. It's going to be Kasper Wazowski, pilot of the number 7. And a little bit of a battle here with Mauro Gabbiati that also had an incident on the opening lap, but a half-second gap between Wazowski and Gabbiati will separate them here and now. Closest battle on track is actually going to be this one here, or as we say that, we're going to have to switch over to the Stagnito and Fauci battle as Stagnito pulls out a fast lap of the race at 54.821. Slams on the brakes going down in towards turn one and is going to get that overtake done on Fauci. Over to Leslie Simpkins and Augusto Socosio, still separated by next to nothing. Socosio tries to defend, but loses the position to Leslie. Daniel Moffat looking for a potential podium at VIR, sitting in 5th place, still in the battle box. Lewis Butler in the number 9 Honda. Oh, we got to switch over to Wazowski and Gabbiati here at Oak Tree. Gabbiati with an over-under at turn 1. And is going to get through on Casper. Up ahead, the battle for the lead spices up as Butler closes down on Cardulo. The inside line, it's going to get a little sketchy here. But the number 9 works his way around the outside line, crisscross applesauce to the inside line on that number 9. Simone Rapparelli is going to get a DNF, unfortunately, and clock out of the race. Here comes side by side again from Cardulo with a switchback through turn 1. Hugs the apex, brings it around, and Cardulo's back into the lead. Important to note that Augusto Socosio, Leslie Simpkins, and Daniel Moffat, well, their gaps have started to expand a little bit. It's about a half second between these drivers. Checking in further back, Tim Williams ahead of Fabio Falci. And that'll be Vincenzo Stagnito ahead of Tim Williams currently. Only about 0.6 ahead as we all drift through the South Bend. And I was telling the boys earlier on, you know, I think this is my second time commentating at VIR, but I love this track so much. This is such a great track. I'm envious of the drivers out here tonight being able to run such great cars at such a good combo. On the roll bar of Tim Williams through the roller coaster section and into Hog Pen. Late on the brakes for Tim Williams as he closes down the gap on Stagnito by a mile, gets on the loud pedal through turn 2, has got it hooked up. Stagnito goes a little wide. Butler with a slowdown penalty now. Gonna have to give a little time back on Cardulo. A little bit of a lift, downshift into the South Bend. I'm just hearing that Rapparelli was actually DQ'd. He had a qualifying ban for too many license points and set a qualifying lap, therefore was removed. Onto the gearbox of Tim Williams. Looking at Fauci. What's happened to Butler? Oh no! And Butler absolutely clatters with Secosio. Oh my goodness. See if we can get a replay of what happened to Butler here. It looks like a little bit of a move from the 988. The 9 tries to rejoin the racetrack and then just takes out the 998. Ooh, man, we're going to definitely have to get a look at that with the stewards to determine who is at fault there. But Butler falls back to P3, 1.3 back from Leslie Simpkins. Now this opens up a few gaps to the field, but not here between Phipps and Ewers. As Ewers tries to get the draft from Michael Phipps, but it's just not enough coming down the back stretch. Paolo Minetti trying to recover from heat number 1, still up 4 positions tonight as it's behind Paul Sims by just about a half second. Leslie Simpkins closes down his gap on Francisco Cardillo, sits just 0.6 back there. Here comes a run from Minetti on Sims, who's down 12 positions, started very well in this race. I believe it was the first row, but the number 13 has tumbled down the order into P13. Up ahead, Vincenzo Stagnito catches up to the rear wing of Daniel Moffat, and as it goes to Secosio behind. No longer is Secosio behind as he gets past Moffat, and Moffat loses 2 for 1 up the hill through the S's. Michael Phipps in the mix with Nick Ewers and Antonio Morabito. Oh, and Morabito's going to go a little bit deep, going down into the roller coaster of turn 14. And he's going to lose out. Now it's going to be Paolo Minetti. He's going to close down the gap on the wounded Morabito, who's getting a little wiggly out on track. Lewis Butler all over the rear wing of Leslie Simpkins with 14 to go. And they've got a 3-second gap to Francisco Cardulo up ahead. And it's been a game of cat and mouse all race long between Butler and Cardulo, but now the tables have turned, and it's Leslie Simpkins who defends P2 from Butler behind. Morabito and Paul Sims exchange positions in the background for 12th and 13th. Up ahead, it's Lewis Butler now of Leslie Simpkins going in towards turn 13 and 14. Butler on a bit of a rampage now with this recovery drive, and the gap coming down to Cardulo ahead. Now, Lloyd, let us know in chat, do you think that Butler can close down the gap on Cardulo ahead? Last lap around, 55.6 to a 55.2. He's only 0.3 quicker with 12 minutes of racing left to go. The math is not mathing as far as catching. Barring any mistakes from Cardulo, this is his race to lose at this point in time. Check in with Mr. Tim Williams right now, the pilot of the 797 Sausage Dodger Racing Audi. He's on a tremendous drive right now with 11 positions gained, sits behind Daniel Moffat in P7. And trying to make this P6 tonight. It'll be a good haul of points for Mr. Williams. Well, the 3-second gap, Lloyd, that I talked about earlier on between Cardulo and Butler has already evaporated to just half a second better at 2.5 seconds on this lap. So the interval continues to plummet between Cardulo and Butler. Well, we all know cashing is one thing. Well, passing, that's a whole nother ball game. Eight-tenths of a second taken out from Butler that last time to Cardulo. Lap time's definitely going the way in Butler's favor now. Lap 9 is where he made the pass on Simpkins. With 10 minutes left to go, about 2-minute laps. We have about 5 laps left of running. Moffat a little bit slower than Williams. Williams tries to get alongside Mofat. He is alongside Mofat now, coming down the back straight at 230 kph. Williams chucks it into the roller coaster. The 797 up into 6th place. Gabbiati and Ewers going after it, and no way Paolo Manetti is gonna get airborne. Let's get a replay of that. Oh man, that was a big accident. Second of the night for Paolo. Oof. Manetti immediately comes into the pits, it looks like. And that might be the end of Paolo's race. Nick Ewers in the top 10 with an asterisk next to his name, as Antonio Morabito and Paul Sims are right behind him. Slowest through sector 1. Sector 3. Oh no! What happened to Butler? It looks like Butler's just slow. And Leslie walks right on by. Must have had a slowdown penalty coming through the oak tree. Keeping an eye on the tower, finding the next battle brewing. It'll be Fabio Falchi and Daniel Mofat battling for P7 and P8. And that's going to be a slowdown for Fabio Falchi as he cuts the S's completely there. 5.5 minutes left to go. Mauro Gabbiati and Oscar Corbett in the Zebra Stripes machine. Coming through left hook and into the snake. Morabito here getting chased down by Paul Sims. And the number 13 green machine has a little bit of damage to that rear end. He's been nursing that wound since the beginning of the race. Gap has come down with Leslie Simpkins and Lewis Butler. 1.3 now to Cardulo with 4:20 remaining on the clock. Vincenzo Stagnito here as well, ready to pounce for his podium. 3:30 remaining on the clock, and the battling stays tight as ever. 0.8 of a second between Cardullo and Leslie Simpkins in the battle for the lead. Check in back here with Paul Sims going for a late move. Up ahead is going to be Morabito. Nick Ewers in a bit of a tussle with Michael Phipps. And this will be the final lap of the race, it looks like. So 1, 2, go. Late on the brakes goes Butler. Tries to close down the gap on Leslie Simpkins before we get to the S's. Through NASCAR and left hook. Single file, Paul Sims and Morabito wheel to wheel through sector 1. Paul Sims going for the move. Late on the brakes is the Fascia Corsa, but latest on the brakes is going to be Paul Sims. Switchback engage for Morabito in the Hyundai, and he's going to be able to get through on Sims for now. Over to the front. This is going to be spicy here. One tiny mistake from any of these drivers is going to be it. Coming into Oak Tree, Leslie's looking close. A little bit of a mistake from Cardullo. Slowdowns for Butler. Slow down for Stagnito. It's going to be a drag coming down the back stretch. It's going to be Leslie Simpkins hugging the door of Cardullo, but moving over in a straight line, bumping and banging doors. Flashy up the headlights from Cardullo behind. Leslie Simpkins on the last lap gets the lead of the race, going down to the roller coaster. He's gonna go late on the brakes. The number 33 has it in the bag in front of Cardullo, the 75. Stagnino gets ahead on Butler in the background. Butler goes back into P4. Leslie into P1 to the checkered flag. Barney's gonna wave it high. He's gonna wave it round, but we're gonna have the stewards look at this as Cardullo is not pleased with the result. Leslie Simpkin takes the win tonight for the feature race with Cardullo in P2, Stagnito in third, and Butler in fourth. Augustus Acosio crosses the line in fifth, with Tim Williams getting 12 positions gained in sixth. Fabio Falchi crosses the line in seventh, Mofat in eighth, Phipps in ninth, and Ewers in 10th. Get the official results populated here in just a moment as I catch my breath. Holy smokes, folks. Barney waves the checkered flag here at VIR for us, folks. Holy smokes, as we get the final drivers to cross the line. Let's go ahead and grab our interviewees in just a few moments, and we'll get to talking to them. Get the feature results populated here. Leslie Simpkins took the win in front of Cardullo. Asterisks, of course, these are all provisional. Stagnito in third, Butler in fourth, Sicosio in fifth, Williams in sixth, Falchi in seventh, Daniel Mofat in eighth, Michael Phipps, Nick Ewers, Morabito, Paul Sims, Gabbiani, Corbett, Wazowski, Manetti, Massey, and then Ward. And rounding out our 19th driver will be Rapparelli. And over to the interview booth here from Virginia is going to be our race winner for the feature race, Leslie Simpkins. Now, Leslie, you had a long way to climb through the order for the feature race. Talk to us about how you're able to pull that out.
That was a tough one. But first things first, right, get our affairs in order. They got the PLM winners and Sebring, right? Split 2. P3, easy. It was a tough race. Oscar almost killed us at the start with his impeccable launch. Me and Lewis were doing a little bit of, papaya orders to try and catch up to the Italians. And the last lap was crazy. Honestly, I feel like I can't remember the race after that last lap. But
yeah,
oof, yeah, good one.
That last lap was absolute insanity. Talk to us about what was going through your head. I mean, we saw it live. Cardullo makes a small mistake going into Oak Tree. Big mistake on the way out, though. You're able to get alongside, a little bit of door banging going down the back stretch. What else is going through your head?
Panic. Panic. I think we had a bit of a iRacing glue down the straight. You know how it goes. And you gave me a little double tap into that right-hander into the roller coaster, but it was all good. Yeah, just happy to take the win. Big up PLM winners, and thank you, Cigar.
No problem. Anybody you want to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank on the victory tonight?
All the Sausage Dodgers boys, right? Big up Mark for not racing tonight, right? Let down. Sorry, Mark. Oscar for his failed launch, Jack McCarthy for his weddings, and thank you, Tim, for getting this all together. And thank you, Sagar, once again for hosting us.
No problem. Thank you very much, Leslie. Have a great night. And as always, make sure you stay safe out there.
You too.
I am still breathless right now, folks. I am just absolutely floored from that finish to the line, and that was tremendous work. Oh man, what a race. This is going to be a great race recap, to say the least. Folks, if you like what you saw, make sure you like and subscribe and get notifications for when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. We'll be back next Tuesday for more racing action in the Porsche Cup. Thank you very much, everybody, for all of your comments in the YouTube chat. Really appreciate your guys' support. Have a great night. And as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Goodbye for now.